Have you ever been deeply influenced by someone who you grew up with in life? And if so, you're not by yourself. I've personally had many people who try to guide me in many different directions when I grew up. But when it comes down to it, I feel as if the people who really carve you who to be are your siblings, if you had any. It's possible that what I talked to you about today, it might remind yourself of you. And I'm going to be talking about how all three of my siblings have shaped me in their own different way. To give context, me and my two brothers are only 3 years apart, and they were basically my best friends growing up with until they both left for college. And my sister, she's actually 20 years older than me, but she still played a huge role in my life as she babysat us when we were all younger. So yeah, and I'm gonna be going over how my middle brother Daniel, he really shaped the way I look at school and how I try in academics. Next, I'm gonna talk about how Andres change the way I look at things socially, how I act in front of other people, and also how I can pick my own friends. With my sister, I'm gonna be talking about how she was always there for me, and she really taught me how to treat others the way you want to be treated. So let me get into it. My older brother Daniel, he really taught me how to change the way I study and just try hard in academics. Like to give for example, in high school, I was never the smartest person. I wouldn't exactly try my hardest, like per se, but I would pass the class with a C or B with giving the least amount of effort I could. While Danny, he was always on top of his school and always ready to learn. Even in high school, he learned how to build computers, which ultimately led him to go into computer science. So with Danny knowing this about me, I mean, he knew I wasn't stupid, but he knew like I obviously wasn't trying very hard. And our oldest brother Andres, he actually did go to college, but he ended up dropping out and is doing his own thing, which is why it was a pretty big option for me not to go to college. But ultimately, Danny, he went to UC Merced, and grew up in Stockton, which is like an hour and a half away, and he would still come back and visit home, which made me and him get really close. And ultimately, he guided and he really helped me go into college and choose what I want to do, which is electrical engineering. So I think it's amazing for him to have a great influence on me like that. Not only that, we had to take a lot of similar courses like calculus and physics, and he helped tutor me. So next, I'm going to be talking about Andres and how he taught me how to act socially in front of others, and not only that, how to pick my own friends. Andres was always the really most popular, more social out of all three brothers. He always went out with friends. Not only that, in school, he'd always had like a girl around his arm, something like that. And there was knowing this, he would always invite friends over for parties whenever it was a family party too, and so always seeing him in a social setting, there would be many times where his friends would try and rile him up and get something out of him, and he would always stay like cool, calm, and collected. And I picked that up really, and I try not to let people get aroused out of me. As for picking up, like how to pick my own friends, this might not be the best way. And disclaimer for those who don't have a good history with alcohol abuse or drug substance abuse, but there's a period of time in his life where he was an alcoholic and was on marijuana like every single day, and it caused a very great of pain to my parents and my family, obviously, but that's besides the point. Like him doing this, when he would come home late, I kind of realized and understood that these weren't really his so-called friends and more people that were just there for a good time. And I think knowing that, it really helped me distinguish who I know really cares for me and wants to see me succeed, and who just is there for a fun time. As for my sister, she really, she took care of us a lot. So she really taught me how to treat others the way they want to be treated, in the sense of so to give context, she is my half sibling, not my full sibling. And she was born in Colombia and has a different mom. And there's a specific story that I have where when I was in elementary school, she was picking me and my siblings up, and this was the first day I ever found that she was my half sister. So I got in the car, and as soon as I look at her, I'm like, "Hi, half sister," just all happy, and then she starts bawling out, crying, and I don't know what I did wrong. So I go home, and I ultimately asked my mom what I did wrong, and she was like, "Oh, in her family, her mom's side, she was rejected a lot, and she really just treated us how she wanted to be treated as a family, and she did, and she deserved to be treated like a family." So that's how I learned how to really treat others the way they want to be treated. And overall, over this course of the speech, I went over how Danny had an impact on me in school, and how Andres had a very big impact on me socially, how Johnny's showed me how to treat others they want to be treated. As shown, each one of my siblings have shaped me to a different person and who I am today, and I really enjoyed giving this speech and letting you guys know more about me. Thank you.